Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a process video for you today. I'm going to be creating a little journal using this beautiful pack from the Junk Journal Studio. It's called the Winter Collage and Cluster Mega Pack. And in my stash, I came across these 8x8 journals that I have had for years. I got them in the Dollar Tree or the Dollar Spot at Target. And they're just like 16 sheets long, thick. They're not huge journals. They're soft cover, whatever. But I thought this would be a fun way to make a journal. I have some papers and things that I'm wanting to use up that are going to coordinate really well with this Junk Journal Studio paper or the Cluster and Collage Mega Pack. So what I'm doing is I'm starting out with this is some vintage fabric that I got from a House of Books, and it's kind of like an open weave fabric. And so I'm trimming it down here, but it's going to work well because this cover is actually white. So I'm not going to back it with anything. I'm going to keep the cover just a regular soft cover. This is going to add a little bit of stability, but this is just not going to be a hard, back journal. I just wanted to keep it really simple. So I'm using some Fabri-Tac. I'm making sure to go all the way to the edges here of this journal because I want to make sure that this fabric gets glued down. When I trim it down, I want to make sure that it's not going to fray or come apart. I'm not wrapping this journal the way that I would normally do just because it's already assembled. You could definitely take it apart and, take out the staples and do all those things. But I'm just wanting it to be very, very simple. So I am gluing everything down, holding it down with this Fabri-Tac. I'm going to let that glue, and then I'm going to do the back side, and then I'm going to let that dry really, really well before I come back through and trim down all of those fibers. I want it to just kind of have that wintry feel, and this is just a very thick fabric, and it was perfect with the colors of the papers that I want to use today. So I have everything kind of the way that I want it. I wish I had thought I would have left a little like wrap around because I love that little frayed edge, but for now I'm just going to leave it and let it dry, and I'm going to move to the inside covers. So this is some scrapbook paper that I have had for years. Again, this was actually some Hobby Lobby paper that I had. It was in a little kit, and it's actually part of what I'm going to be using alongside the Junk Journal Studios papers. But these were 12 by 12 sheets, and I'm trying to get through some of my stash. I have a lot of stuff, and I want to start using it up. So I'm cutting these down. Again, this is an 8x8 journal. So I'm just gluing this down, and it's basically just a paper journal, but the paper on the inside is really pretty thin, like copyweight kind of paper. And so this is just going to help kind of give those pages a little bit more stability. 8x8 is a really great size to work in. So I have my bullet journal that I use is actually 8x8. I really like this size of journal. So it's going to be interesting to try to fill it with some different pockets and things. So here you can see I am going around now that Fabri-Tac has dried, and I'm just trimming down all of the edges and just making sure that nothing is going to fray or whatever. I think it should be fine. I did make sure to glue, like I said, all the way to the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through using some scrapbook papers that I have at a couple of different collections, and one is from Cartabella, one is from Hobby Lobby. They just happen to coordinate really well, and I'm going to use those 12 by 12 scrapbooking papers. Here's the papers from Cartabella. I'm going to use these, and I'm going to actually cover every single page in this journal. Like I said, I believe there are 16 pages. So I went through, I'm going to show you kind of how I'm going to do this first page, just so you can kind of get an idea. I'm really loved this one. It's like a collage strip. It's just beautiful, and it ties all of the colors together. So I have that kind of greenish polka dot color paper in the background, and then I'm just going to add this little side tuck pocket over here using that collage pack from the Junk Journal Studio. And I just thought I pulled all of those kind of elements together, and then I'm going to go through, and you can see I have now covered every single one of the pages with this scrapbook paper. And now I'm going to go back through with those collage pieces, or the collage the collage mega pack, And the long strips that were included in that collection, I'm going to turn into pockets. I'm also going to use some of the scrapbook paper to make some pockets. I did go through this entire collection in another video. It's been a little while. I'll try to remember to link it down below so you can kind of see up close all of the elements. It's a huge collection of papers that are just going to be great for this. And so I will get into like the decorating a little bit more in another video. This would just a little bit too long to be able to do all of that in there. So this one is one I had kind of, before I started filming, I had pre-cut some of these pockets and things. This page somehow I skipped. So I'm just going to find some coordinating papers here that I can use. I love the like blues and greens, that kind of just cool tones are really, really beautiful, and they just are all really working together really well. So this is one of the scrapbooking papers actually that I'm cutting down here, and I wanted to put it here just a little bit too wide, so I'm going to trim it back down just a little bit more. I didn't want quite that deep of a pocket, and so I'm just going to trim that down and put this light blue paper over the top with those little mittens and everything. And I'm going to try to go through this part really quickly because basically all I'm doing is gluing in the pockets and different kind of styles and sizes and different things. So I know it's not very exciting to watch me glue down paper, but I just wanted to kind of go through the ideas that I was working with as I was doing this journal. So I wanted to create a little thumb notch. I used a little tiny circle punch, and it was just too small for the size of this journal, I felt like. And so I'm going to bring in my ginormous one. Ideally, this would have been better to do before I glued down the pocket. But I remembered it at this point. So now I'm going to kind of fuss with this just a little bit for a few of these pockets and go back and create these little thumb notches in them. There's just a couple pages. I was only a couple pages in when I realized I wanted to do that. And then on future ones, obviously, I will be able to do that before I glue them down. Sometimes this is just how it goes. I think of things like after I've already started creating. So I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants, I guess, on this one. So this is one of the scrapbook papers again, and I just took a piece of it and I'm just cutting it at an angle, just some random angle, and I'm going to glue that in, and that will just kind of be a side tuck. I didn't want every pocket to kind of look the same, and so I have this beautiful blue paper. This is actually from the Junk Journal Studio, and I'm trying to decide which way I want to do this. I kind of went back and forth if I wanted it on the bottom or the left. In the end, I decided to put it down there on the bottom. And then over here on the right, that's a Cartabella background paper, but then I'm using the Junk Journal Studio collage paper to create a belly band here. I just liked adding that little bit of brown in as well. This again is actually the scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just kind of trying to decide how I want to do this pocket. So I have my big punch here because I really do want to try to remember to do this. And then I changed my mind about what I was doing altogether. So I cut a 4-inch square basically and cut it diagonally so that I could create a little corner pocket. And then I was going to use the other piece on the reverse side, but I didn't like the fact that then the text was going the wrong direction. And so then I just pulled out another piece of paper, a little scrap of it, and cut another square and then did the triangle so that I'm going to actually have 2 separate pockets on here. I just wanted some variety for different styles of pockets. I could still tuck one, kind of ginormous something in there. But I really liked the idea of having a couple different things. And then again, I'm going to trim down some of this paper here. This is that Cartabella paper, and I actually ended up cutting up the one that was like the little cut aparts, but it was fine because I really loved this like polka dot kind of looking like the snow. And then on this side, I decided to do another belly band, and we'll tuck some things in here after we get all of this decorated. Like I said, I'll do that in another video just because there's a lot for creating ephemera, and I didn't want this video to get too long. This one I wanted to kind of do a little double pocket, so I'm just cutting the little notch out of the top, and then I kind of went back and forth trying to decide if I wanted to do a side notch there. I decided against that just because I thought it might look a little bit weird, and I did not distress any of the pages or any of the things in here. I wanted to keep that kind of just really bright white and kind of cream tones going on, but I did add just a little bit of distress. This is archival ink in ground espresso, just to that one little pocket, just to kind of bank it so you could see the delineation between the two sections. When we get it decorated, it will obviously help. But so I have a little pocket on the front and then a little pocket on the side for that one. And then again, here's another one where I'm just going to cut this down. I love these little coffee mugs. They're just so cute. And so I wanted to just kind of create another one with just sort of a wonky angle, just for something different. This pocket is going to be kind of a bigger pocket, and then you can kind of just work it like a side tuck almost. And then I have this paper pad. This is actually as the 6x6 version of that same 12x12 paper. So everything is, you know, the scale of it is smaller, but it coordinates obviously because it's the same paper line. And so I'm taking one of those 6x6 and just cutting it into a diagonal so that I have this kind of really large corner tuck spot. And then here I wanted to go with just this dark green. It really, the color is not really coming through all the way on my camera, but this is just a beautiful dark green. And so originally I thought I was just going to do this one pocket. I really liked the contrast against that striped paper. And then when I get this glued down, I feel like it just needed a little bit of something else. So I pulled out that same paper with the little mugs on it, and I just kind of lined it up with the cut that I had already made and made a couple pencil marks. And now I'm going to cut along those little pencil marks. That's going to give me the same angle, so I can glue this one in the corner and I'll have another like double pocket here. So, and then the angle is the same because of how we lined it up. And then over here on the right side, I'm going to take this paper. This is again that same 6x6 paper. I'm going to cut it diagonally and create a little corner spot over on this right side. And so having those, the different pages, like the 12x12 and the 6x6, it just gave it a little bit more interest that way. And then this is the last page I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little belly band here. This is the last page of the journal. I haven't decided if I'm going to do pockets on the covers yet or not. I may do that later, but for right now, this is it. And I'm just going to do a little flip through so you can kind of see the pockets that we're going to be dealing with. In the next video that I do for this journal, we'll make the ephemera and maybe decorate some of the pockets as well. But I just wanted to do a really quick flip through of all the pages that we did today. Here's those double pockets there. And if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you'd like to see part 2 where we do the ephemera and filling of the pockets. And until next time, bye.